Hello everyone. Today is summer solstice, so we thought let's make something related to summer solstice, giving a bit of more information. So we'll talk about summer solstice, the significance. We'll also talk about on chart what should be happening on chart as such, and something in history that we'll be able to see something of summer solstice. So before we start discussing on these topics, let's go on the chart. So what we have done is we have mentioned all the dates, not only of summer solstice but also of equinox and solstice, both of them, and try to see on the chart. So we'll try to mention and elaborate those things on the chart and see what are the dates which have been repeating altogether for that part. So let's say we start midway around, just to talk about significance of some of the days. We see a low on around 24th of March 2022. So this was probably a bear cycle low that we saw, the latest bear cycle that we have just gone through, maybe 4 years back. That is in 2020, almost we can say 5 years back. So this is 2020. There we got a low, and this day was just nearer to the equinox days. Of course, we find an orb of 2 or 3 days here and there, but on this day, definitely we saw a low which was there. After that, we go to the next day. Let's say this is somewhere around 21st, 24th of June. So 24th of June again we had a high. We have the next day which is 24th of September. Again we find a low. So there is a low, there is a high, there is a low which is there, and probably we can see another low which is there on 21st of December. Again we find this as 23rd of March 2021. So we again get a low. If you see across, probably you will be getting a repetition of certain lows and high coming. Now, not all lows and highs are exactly matching on this date. It depends or maybe varies on the basis of the cycles that we have been getting. So let's say again this low which was there in the month of June. June 2022. Again, we got a low which is exactly on today's low. So today's date is more like an anniversary date for us. But only thing is this low was there in 2022. Again, if we look at this high, this was somewhere around September high. Then again, if we look at this major low, this is one of the major lows which happened almost after 3 years. So yes, we can consider this as a 3-year anniversary from 2022 low to 2023 low, which again significantly did fall across on 20th of March 2023. Let's look at the current status of the market. Current status, if we look across, this is again somewhere around 27th of September, nearer to our equinox date of 21st of September. Again, if we look at maybe the December high, this was somewhere around coming nearer to solstice date. Again, we got this high, which was there again in the month of March. So 23rd, 24th of March was the high. So yes, this dates, if we gradually go across, you'll be finding that yes, some of the other dates which are there, they are coming on the low and high of this dates. Let's say, for example, if you see over here, this is September high of 2015. We got this high which was there in the month of February. So every, maybe probably not all the lows and highs that are there, but basically this, if we see, yes, probably from here onwards again the market started moving up. Again the downside movement, this was a low, again a high, again a downside movement, again a midway point, again nearer to the high. So yes, definitely we'll be able to see this across. This have been marked across. So probably you can just go through them or those points together. And we see that significantly many of the highs and lows do fall on that. Let's say, for example, this is there for March 2008. 2008 is one of the famous bear cycles that we had. So again, the low was nearer to that part. Again, this March low was of 2009. So yes, this was a significant bottom which was there. After that, the market did rise. And this was more like a double bottom also. So after this bottom, maybe market did consolidate, and after March 2009, we saw a significant high movement. Again, we got a high which was nearer to March 2010. So these points are all been marked. You can just go through them every now and then, and you'll be able to find that yes, these are there. So this we have tried to mark from almost 2004 onwards. So this is one of the parts that we are able to see on chart that yes, this has definitely been reflected. And if you look at probably current date, we feel that this would be more like a high been formed over here, and maybe probably if it doesn't break this high, maybe market should start coming down. So it depends on the market what exactly the turning should be. After crossing of this high, the previous high, yes, we can see an upside movement, or probably again the market may come down. So this is what we are able to see in terms of on the charts basically. So we have just marked all these 4 dates together. Now we'll come back to the significance part. What exactly is the significance of summer solstice? What is so important about that? So we first of all know that Gann has been trying to divide the year into 4, that is 90 degrees and into 8s altogether. So if we divide it into 4, we get 90 degrees starting from one day to another. Let's say we start from 21st of March to 21st of June to 23rd or 21st of September, and then towards December. So this are been divided into 4 seasons altogether. If I start from 21st of March to 21st of June, we get somewhere around 90 days, 91 days approximately. And the same follows for 90 days from June to September, and from September onwards to December. So we have 2 equinox date and we have got 2 solstice date. Here we'll be specifically talking about 21st June, that is the summer solstice. Let's look into the details of that, what exactly those are. We'll probably try to take help of some animated videos from YouTube so that we'll be able to elaborate further. But the basic crux is the sun rays directly fall on the equator. So that's why we have an equal day and equal night. On solstice, it's not the thing, it becomes totally different. And we have the longest day or the longest night, depending on whether it is a winter solstice or a summer solstice. So let's get in deep dive into the details of that part also. Now let me take you through a brief video which would be making maybe in terms of animations things probably easier for you. So this is the equator, this is Tropic of Capricorn, and this is Tropic of Cancer. So this is our Earth and the tilt of the axis which is there, and perpendicular to the axis we have the equator, Tropic of Cancer on the top, and at the bottom we have Tropic of Capricorn. So we start with this date over here, and we'll try to see how the equinox and solstice days have been started over here. So maybe this is one of the points which is there. So this is our winter solstice point, where if the sun is there, the north pole is away from the sun. So this point is the winter solstice day, where the sun rays are falling on Tropic of Capricorn, and it is winter over here. So this point is specifically winter solstice. Let's try to see what has been happening further. So it starts moving accordingly and it comes to another point. Right now, during the movement, it's not the earth or the tilt changes. No, it's not the earth's tilt which has been changing, but the sun rays are now falling directly on the equator because of the movement of the earth which is there. Yes, it keeps on orbiting around, and this is ecliptic. Now because of the ecliptic movement which is there, and also the earth tilt, it is coming where the sun rays are now falling directly on the equator, and this is called as equinox. Equinox means equal night and equal day. Equal equinox is equal night. So the sun has equal day and equal light on the northern hemisphere as well as the southern hemisphere. Fine. Let's go further and try to see what has been happening next. So this is on 21st of March. As we move further, we see slowly and gradually now the sun rays which are there from here onwards, they start falling on Tropic of Cancer. Now it falls on Tropic of Cancer, which is the current date which is there, 21st of June. The North Pole, the North Pole has got summer over here, while on the opposite side, that is the South Pole, has got winter. So this is going to be summer solstice on the northern hemisphere, where the earth has moved almost by 90 days, or we can say that 90 degrees also. So now in terms of tunnel through the air, days and degrees are going to be same when it is almost like a circle. Let's go to the next point. So from here onwards, what happens is we start with the journey in the opposite direction and we start going again towards the equinox. So this is again the equinox day. So we have got two equinox days, which is on 21st of March and 21st of September. And the cycle further continues where it goes on the cycle point. So here again it comes. So we started from this point, completed an entire year's journey, and again we come back to the same point. That's how it is. So here are details for summer solstice on winter solstice. Only one basic difference is there. When there is winter solstice, the winter is there in North Pole, and same way when it is summer solstice, the winter is there in South Pole. So this is one of the basic difference. We'll try to identify what exactly the things which have been happening. So we know about two, three basic things. One of them is, as we have discussed previously, that on this day, that is summer solstice day, this is going to be the longest day on North Pole, like 24 hours of daylight would be there. And same way, 24 hours of night would be there on the South Pole. Now, on this day, basically, the sun rays which are there, they fall directly on Tropic of Cancer. And if you also look at probably the zodiac signs which are there, the sun enters into Cancer. Sun enters into Cancer on 21st or 22nd of June. Why? Because the sunlights do fall on that line over there, and that's why that line is called as Tropic of Cancer. You can take it either way. So if you look at in terms of daylight, which is there on Tropic of Cancer, it's going to be 13.5 hours. That is the biggest day. And same way on the equator, day is somewhere around for 12 hours. It is considered as one of the longest day during that time because the daylight is more comparatively in the northern hemisphere compared to the southern hemisphere. And if you see in the southern hemisphere, it's probably on equator, it's almost the same time frame or the equal day which is there. But on Tropic of Capricorn, which falls in the southern hemisphere, we have only 10.5 hours of day. So that's why the length of the day is less and comparatively the night is bigger. Why does this happen? What is the significance? I mean, like, why exactly all these things happen? Now, to look at this part, what we know is the Earth is first of all tilted. It's not totally perpendicular. It is at a tilt, and the tilt is somewhere around 23.45 degrees. It varies altogether during the year, but average it is 23.4 degree because there's some small moment altogether during the year. So on an average, it is 23.45 degrees, and because it is been tilted, we get different seasons. So this is the first and most basic thing, because if we know this, the other fundamentals would be much more clearer. The first part is, yes, the axis of the Earth, it is tilted at 23.45 degrees, and because of this tilt, we have got seasons. So how are the seasons? Now, when the sun rays are falling directly on the equator, so we have a start of spring during that time, and that is on 21st of March onwards. We have on 21st of March specifically, we have got the spring equinox, and from that day onwards, the Earth starts moving altogether towards 21st of June, and this period is called as the spring season. If you look in India, probably this is more like the summer because we have got the basic summer in terms of the daylight, in terms of the heat which is there, but this is technically the spring season. Then after that, June starts. June is majorly for us the rainy season as such specifically. Now what happens is equinox is nothing but equal sun and equal night, which is there. When the earth, that is on 21st of June, what happens? Because of the movement, it is still tilted. There is no change in the tilt which is there. But only thing is, as it orbits around the sun, the north pole which is there, it is tilted towards the sun. When on 21st of June, the north pole is tilted towards the sun. I mean, like the tilt is same, but it is facing more towards the sun during that specific day, where we have more of sunlight during that day. Because of that, The sun rays are directly falling on, so first of all, is the Tropic of Cancer, and we have more of daylight on that part. Now, if we look individually at the sun or individually at the earth, see the sun is, I mean, like as usual, during a day, it is giving its bright light during the day. Fine. So that is the first part which has been learned. If you look at the earth keeps on orbiting around the sun. So there is no specific difference as such, especially for the earth or maybe for the earth, but the impact which has been created because of this movement, the impact which has been created because of this movement is we get seasons, that is the first thing, and we get various seasons. What is that? First of all, this is the spring season. This is called as the spring season is why? Because the ice starts melting, and because of the melting of ice start getting spring season. So that's why this has been called as the spring season after the winter season. So the glaciers and rest of the stuff, they start melting. The ice basically starts melting and the ice starts flowing. So the rivers start flowing, and that's why we have the spring season after an autumn, or maybe the after the winter season basically, which is there. And on this day, as we told, yes, this the sun rays which are there, they are directly falling on the Tropic of Cancer, and that's why we have got different sunlight. So this is what, in short, it explains about. This is the axis of the Earth, and you can see over here on the North Pole, you got almost 6 months of day during this time period when it is been moving across from maybe 21st of June till 21st of December. So there is more of daylight from the half time period to the other half time period that is there, and definitely this has an impact. Now, what we have done is on charts for last, let's say, 20 years, these 4 days have been marked, which is 21st of March. March is third month. Same way, June is sixth month. September is ninth month. And this is 12th month. So this is 3, 6, 9, and 12. 3, 6, 9, and 12. Now, let's look at history also. What is the significance of summer solstice in terms of history? Now, if you look at this picture, probably this is of Stonehenge. So, let's look into the details of Stonehenge also. Now, let's look at one of the articles which is there in front of us. It says about something. We'll just try to read across that part. Maybe let me zoom it across. Yep, better. So this is summer solstice celebration around the world. Solstice means sun standing still. Now, what happens on this days? Maybe probably we'll try to look at that part also. But it says sun standing still. This is more like Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. So Dakshinayan is like the on the first day the sun goes towards the south side for a day. For a day it holds on over there, and on the third day it starts moving. So that's why at times it has been said that sun has been standing still over there, because on the first day it just moves towards the south direction. Second day it hold on to that point, and third day, after holding on to that day for 3 days, it then starts moving across in the opposite direction. So that's why it means solstice means sun standing still. So now if you look across through tunnel through there, in one of the sentences specifically related to Jonas, it says, "For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the man of man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth." So indirectly, somewhere around it talks about that part, and further it says, "No sign shall be given but the sign of the prophet Jonas." I believe there was a secret meaning in what he said, that the Son of a Man be 3 days and 3 nights into the heart of the earth. I believe that a man who understands the meaning of that has all the power under heaven and earth, as the Bible says he shall have. I believe that is the key to the interpretation of the future. I am sure I have found out and known how to apply it. So now applying it is a different part, but if you look at one of the things which is there, talking about Jonas. So this talks about being 3 days and 3 nights into the whale's belly. So same way, during the summer solstice and the winter solstice part, the earth stands still for maybe 3 days. And that is what is been given over here, that solstice means sun stands still. that is in Latin, a reference to the fact that the sun appears to linger at its highest point in the sky for the year at midday on the summer solstice. Well, now, what do you exactly mean by being at the highest point in the sky? Now, this is one of the pictures which will be able to give you an idea, a brief idea about what exactly this is. So, this is the sun on summer solstice day. This is on equinox day, and this is on winter solstice day. So, if you look on summer solstice day, this is at the highest point which is there. This is at the highest point, and this is what it is being talked about over here, that the sun appears to linger at its highest point in the sky for the year at midday on the summer solstice. This phenomena has been observed since ancient times and may be one of the earliest astronomical observation in human prehistory. Knowing the yearly cycle of the season was vital to the survival of ancient people, and both the summer and winter solstice were key dates on the calendar. People in antiquity were very aware of this kind of thing, said Ed Krupp, director of the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. It was very closely linked to the seasons, and seasons are directly linked to human behavior and activity and resources. And that's why this forms a very important part. So, this talks about some of the indigenous communities which have been following this ritual because they talk about their new year, especially on this day. So, this is what has been given. Bolivia's Aymara indigenous community celebrates the Andean New Year and the Southern Hemisphere's winter solstice on Thursday. So this is specifically about uh, those days which are there. So this is important. Several ancient monuments around the world are believed to have been designed to align with the rising or setting sun at the summer solstice. So now this becomes a very important part. This includes the Bohang Medicine Wheel near Lowell, Wyoming, and Stonehenge, the 5,000-year-old stone circle in Wiltshire, England. Now, that's why you see a huge crowd which has been coming on those days, especially during that point. Why? Because sun exactly comes on those specific parts. When the sun sets, it is just nearer to those points, which makes a very, very important day for us to be noticed for that spy. Right now, if you see over here, no, nothing has been kept on probably the stones or the stones, but yes, these three stones are very critical. They act according to those parts, and maybe the sun sets accordingly on those specific days over there, and that's why it is very, very important. In Europe and other parts of the world, midsummer festivals keep alive the memory of ancient summer solstice rituals. Other modern observances include talk by astronomers about the summer solstice, such as the sunset presentation of the Griffith Observatory, and thousands of people are expected to attend a ceremony for the summer solstice sunset at Stonehenge, which in recent years has taken on the feel of an outdoor musical festival. So, if you look at in history, maybe one of the most historical thing that we have seen across in terms of the Stonehenge, which has been seen. This is almost like 5,000 years old. So, this is a stone circle which is there. And this reflects the importance of summer solstice. This reflects the importance of summer solstice. And that's why this day is probably important for us. We have also seen this on charts. Probably we got one of the most important lows in the market, where especially on these days. Again, we got some important days which were there on 21st of March. So 21st of March, this low, again this low, probably and this low. Yes, we have been getting those critical days. Again, the high which was there, that was again on 21st of March. So equinox solstice days, they probably try to create some kind of reversals or maybe resistance supports or midway points overall into the market. That's how the summer solstice or the four important days of the year are important for us. If you look at Tunnel Through the Air, page number 83, he again talks about dividing the year into 90 days, 180, to 70 days and 364 days. So these are nothing but the 13 weeks overall from one time to another. And these are again interpreted as the seasonal cycles. So we have the important days which have been marked: 21st of December, 21st of March, 21st of June, and 21st of September. If we try to divide this into four equal parts, so we have this four important days. And if we try to divide this into eight equal parts, so we have four important dates which have been added up: 4th of February, 4th or 5th of February, 5th of May, 5th of August, and somewhere around 8th of November. So maybe a small difference of days here and there. Again, he talks about basically highs. So we see that somewhere around June we get a high, December we get a high, again September we got a high. So these highs are already been mentioned by him also in his book. Now, if we try to look across on any of the charts of WD Gann, which is there, let's say this is page number 281. And if we look across over here, we'll be finding some of the other dates. Let's say, for example, this is going to be 20th of March, which is 0 degree. We start from here, we go to April, then this is May, June, and we come to 90 degree, which is on 21st of June. So this is north 90 degree, which has been mentioned. Again, if we go 90 degree onwards till here, this is September 21st, 23rd of September coming to 180 degree. And if we go from here, we come on 21st of December, which is to 70 degree. Though this is a chart which is there of cotton, coffee, eggs. So this has been given, and this follows the date table which has been given. So we come on the next chart, which is coming on page number 343 of the Master Commodity Course. If we look across, maybe zoom it across. So this is square of 9, which has been mentioned. Again, if you look in terms of degrees, yes, it would be specifically giving you degrees and date. So this is September, September 23rd. This is August. This is August. This is July. So this is June. We get 21st of June. This is 90 degree. And probably if we go towards 0 degree, this comes on 21st of March. So 21st of March, we went around over here. We went to 90 degree, which is 21st of June. Then we went on 180 degree. This is September, 21st, 23rd of September. And this is coming to 21st of December, which is 270 degrees. So this overall goes on over here, and 360 is nothing but again 0 degree. So 360 degree and 0 degree, they fall again on the same point. So this is master time and price chart. If we go on page number 350, again if we see, yes, this is 21st of December, 270 degree. This is 180 degree, September 21st. We see north, that is 90 degree. So this goes on 21st of June. So this is May 21st. This is June 6th, 21st of June. Then we have July and rest of the day. So this is 9th, 90 degree, 21st of June. This is going to be our start point, 0 degree. This is again 360 degree, and this comes on March 0. So 0 degree March. Then we have 21st of June, 90 degree. Then we have 180 degree, which comes on September 21st. And then we have 270 degree, which comes on 21st of December. So again, the directions are also been marked over there. Now again, if we come on page number 356, this is cotton coffee chart, which is there, master price and time chart. This is by another method, which is there. So you can go through the method and try to identify that. It would be clearer for you also. If you look at this method, probably this is again 180 degree, September, 21st of September. We come to 90 degree, this is June 21st. This is 0 degree or 360 degree. So this is February, and then March 21st. And then coming back, we are on 270 degree, which is December 21st. So again, in the same way, dates have been mentioned. The same way in terms of degrees, timing, 0 degree, 270 degree, 90 degree, and 180 degree. So same time of typical things have been used. Again, the dates have been typically mentioned in the same way. Let's say, for example, this is September 90 degree, which is there. From here, we go to the next degree, which is 180 degree. We again probably have December 21st, which has been marked. Of course, the degrees are maybe slightly different over here. This is July, then we have February, we have March 21st, but again it comes in an opposition. Let's say, for example, if we start from here, our degree goes at 90 degree on 21st December. Same way over, if we go on the next point, this comes on 21st of June. So again, opposite to 21st of December, we have 21st of June. And same way, opposite to 21st of March over here, we have got September 21st. Right? So we saw this on the charts also. So just to summarize altogether, we first of all saw the things which are there on the chart. We tried to understand what is the significance of summer solstice, and we also saw in the history what is the importance of the summer solstice, specifically in terms of Stonehenge and other festivals also. Okay, fine. So next time we'll be again meeting, trying to continue with the Master Commodity course and try to see further more details of that part. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Take care.